Part 3. Money without origin. How wealth becomes a shield when no one asks where it came from. Follow the money, they say. Every serious investigation begins with the same advice. Follow the money. Money leaves trails. Accounts. Records. Transfers. Tax filings. And yet, in the case of Jeffrey Epstein, the trail does something unusual. It fades, not because the money was small, but because it was structured to be unknowable. Epstein's wealth existed everywhere, but its origin existed nowhere. And that was not an accident. Section 1. The appearance of wealth. By the early 1990s, Epstein was living like someone extremely rich. He owned a massive Manhattan mansion, a luxury estate in Palm Beach, properties in New Mexico and Paris, private aircraft, a private Caribbean island. This was not the lifestyle of a modest investor. This was the lifestyle of someone with continuous cash flow, legal insulation, long-term financial confidence. And yet, when journalists and investigators tried to answer a simple question, how does he make his money? There was no simple answer. Section 2. The missing hedge fund. Epstein was often described as a hedge fund manager. But unlike legitimate hedge funds, there were no public performance records, no large known investor base, no regulatory transparency. Former associates gave vague explanations. He managed money privately. He only worked with a few ultra-wealthy clients. He was very secretive. Secrecy in finance is not unusual. Total opacity is. Section 3. Why no one pushed harder. The financial world operates on one dangerous assumption. If someone appears wealthy, they must know something you don't. This creates a feedback loop. Wealth suggests competence. Competence discourages scrutiny. Lack of scrutiny protects wealth. Epstein exploited this perfectly. People didn't investigate his money because they assumed someone else already had. Section 4. Private clients, private rules. Epstein claimed to manage money only for a small circle of clients. This allowed him to avoid disclosure, avoid marketing, avoid audits. In theory, this is legal. In practice, it is the ideal structure for concealment. No shareholders asking questions. No regulators reviewing performance. No journalists tracking returns. Just trust, enforced by reputation. Section 5. Offshore structures. Epstein used offshore trusts, shell companies, complex ownership layers. These structures are not illegal. They are widely used by the wealthy. But they serve one primary purpose. Distance. Distance between money and owner. Actions and accountability. Behavior and consequence. Each layer makes investigation slower. Each delay weakens oversight. Section 6. Money as a signal, not a tool. Epstein didn't use money like most people. He rarely flaunted luxury publicly. He didn't chase headlines. Instead, he used money as a signal. Funding a conference here. Donating to an institution there. Hosting an exclusive dinner. Small amounts, strategically placed. The message was clear. I belong here. And once belonging is established, questions become impolite. Section 7. Financial entanglement. Epstein's wealth did something more important than enrich him. It entangled others. He funded research, backed careers, supported institutions. Once someone benefited from his money, they became emotionally invested in his legitimacy. Because questioning Epstein now meant questioning their judgment, their funding, their success. Silence became self-protection. Section 8. Why wealth confers moral immunity. In elite circles, wealth often substitutes for character. People assume he wouldn't risk his reputation. Someone like that wouldn't need to do this. There must be a misunderstanding. This is a critical error. History shows the opposite. Extreme wealth often reduces accountability, not increases it. Epstein understood this instinctively. Section 9. No paper trail, no pressure. Investigators rely on friction. Friction creates pressure. Pressure reveals truth. Epstein's financial life was designed to be frictionless. Every attempt to apply pressure encountered complexity, encountered lawyers, encountered delay. Delay exhausts attention. By the time answers might emerge, interest had moved on. Section 10. Why mystery protected him. Epstein's financial mystery worked in his favor. If his wealth had been modest, questions would have followed. If it had been clearly earned, trust would have followed. Instead, ambiguity created awe. Awe discourages confrontation. People assume, there must be something I don't understand. That assumption is power. Section 11. Money and moral blindness. Financial systems are not built to detect abuse. They are built to detect fraud against institutions, theft from investors, tax violations. Abuse of people, especially powerless people, often falls outside financial scrutiny. Epstein exploited this gap. His money did not raise alarms because it wasn't stealing from the powerful. Section 12. The cost of not knowing. Every unchecked fortune sends a signal. If you have enough resources, transparency becomes optional. That message travels. It teaches predators that secrecy is survivable. Silence is purchasable. Systems are negotiable. Epstein was not the first to learn this, but he may be one of the clearest examples. Closing of Part 3. A foundation of fog. Jeffrey Epstein's wealth was not just money. It was fog. Fog that obscured origins. Fog that softened suspicion. Fog that allowed behavior to continue unseen. And upon that fog, an entire world of access was built. In the next part, we move from money to movement, from financial invisibility to social omnipresence.